Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and we gotta talk about this. We have the April update key art, and this thing is looking super clean. Like, look at Professor X's head, my guys. You can literally see your reflection on that thing. It is massive. But like, where does man find a barber in the middle of a pandemic? Like, everything is still locked down in Toronto. But anyways, man, let's talk about this. So here's the thing. We have the simple greetings from CM Fragment, and then we have a message here that is quite interesting, right? It says, from superheroes turned villains to the Lord of the Underworld, we celebrate the Marvel Universe April update, which will be filled with various changes, as well as the Marvel Future Fight 6-year anniversary. Check out the heroes and villains that will lead the celebration of our special anniversary. We are currently working hard on the update. To keep up with the big changes, please stay tuned. I am definitely looking forward to the stream today, boys. Make sure y'all have that notification bell lit up, because we about to check that thing out live together. You feel me? So let's talk about this, man. It says right here, from superheroes turned villains to Lord of the Underworld. So we know Maker, aka Mr. Fantastic, is a villain now. We know Tony, aka Iron Man, is now a villain. But what about Professor X? Is he finally going to be a villain? Could he be classified as such? Is there ever a run where this man is a villain but still Professor X? Because there has been times when Professor X became a villain, but like, that was when he became Onslaught, and that was a different thing entirely. That was no longer Professor X, that was Onslaught. So we're talking strictly about Professor X. Is there a moment in time when he crosses the line, he goes too far? Well, let's take a little stroll, ladies and gentlemen. Could we finally see Professor X as a villain in any Marvel game? Because I've never seen him, like this bald guy in a wheelchair, as a villain. Come on, no, that's Charles. He's preaching peace, positivity, and acceptance. Never world domination. I need mutants to be the dominant force of the world. Never that, right? Let's talk, boys. Let's talk Powers of X, House of X. Let's talk about it, man, because it's interesting, because he kind of slowly becomes more, I don't know. Let's take a look at some of the words that he uses and some of the things that he does, and you tell me if this is like clear as day. He's still a hero, or would you say he's kind of like crossing the line a little bit? If you don't like these kind of like comic summaries, it's fine. You don't have to stay here for that. But I just want to basically give you guys an idea of the possibility that Professor X could be a villain, however unlikely it may seem, right? I highly doubt they'll ever make lovable old Charles Xavier a villain. But take a look at this page right here, and take a look at some of the things he says and some of the things he does. And then I'm going to take you back to the moments that led up to this decision, so you can see why this is significant, okay? So we'll start over here. So he says, of course, yes, very well, Charles, don't worry about that too much, right? Let's talk about down here. It's a little conversation here between Magneto and Professor X, right? They're basically putting the past behind them and starting new. This is on Krakoa, by the way, right? So let's go down here and let's take a look at some of the things Professor X says, because these are never words you have seen before if you haven't read this comic run from Professor X himself. So he puts on Cerebro. This is the version of Professor X we currently have in the game, where he's walking around. He's not wheels here, he's the leg man. Those legs are beefy. My guy been squatting. Anyways, so he says, humans of the planet Earth. Okay, so he's basically communicating telepathically with everyone on Earth through Cerebro. I am the mutant Charles Xavier, and I bring you a message of hope. Okay, In the coming days, you will learn of several far-reaching pharmaceutical breakthroughs that have been discovered by mutant scientists. So on Krakoa, they've basically been developing super drugs that humans have never seen before. So these drugs extend human life, heal diseases of the mind, and will prevent or cure most common maladies, influenza, etc. Right? Basically, cancer's gone overnight. Basically, the magic cure that the human race has been looking for. The mutants have found it, and they are offering it to the human race. Well, isn't that nice of Professor X? He wants to live in peace with everybody, and he found a super drug and he wants to give it to them. These drugs will make life on this planet better, remarkably so. Right? You see people here in their sickbed, they're like, oh my gosh, right? All this we have made for you. So basically he's telling them that you can have all these things. In the past, they would have been a gift. Something freely given by me to you, because I believed it would create harmony between our peoples, mutant and human, right? Different species. That was my dream, harmony. You have taught me a harsh lesson. The dream was a lie. You see, all I ever wanted was peace between humans and mutants. All I ever wanted was love, and for you to love us. Keep listening, right? We wanted to save you, and we did many times. But in return, all you did was stand by while evil men killed our children. Over 16 million of them. So this man has a tally of every mutant that's ever been killed by the human race. Listen, if that doesn't have the makings of like a madman, like imagine, right? Just keeping a tally of every person in your species that's been killed by someone else. Like, that's enough to drive you insane, right? But Professor knows exactly the amount of people who's been killed. Crazy. And he's communicating with the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, etc., right? So there will be no gift, for you have not earned it. We will, however, let you pay for it. No more Mr. Nice Guy, okay? That Charles is dead. In return for two things, we will provide you with the means to have a better life. One without pain or suffering, filled of hope. And it will cost you so little. First, you must accept the island of Krakoa as the mutant state of all mutants on this planet. We will happily go through the same process as a newly formed nation with the UN, but there is an exception. That is, our sovereignty will be recognized. Secondly, all mutants by birth can claim Krakoan citizenship. So even if you're not born on the island of Krakoa, as long as you manifest some kind of mutant powers, you can just say, hey, I'm a Krakoan. Y'all can't touch me. You can't judge me by your laws. I am a Krakoan citizen, right? It's crazy, bro. Anyways, and with that citizenship, we expect a period of amnesty, so that those who have been singled out as criminals or punished and imprisoned by humans can overcome man's bias against mutants. From this day forward, mutants will be judged by mutant laws, not men. These are simple demands, and they are not negotiable. Listen, Professor X has always been a guy you can reason with. For him to be saying these things, bro, like, that's clear cut and dry. It's not necessarily villainous or enough to make him a villain, but it's crossing the line a little bit. You know, but he's protecting his people, so it depends on how you look at it. Well, look at Magneto's face, bro. And if you find yourselves asking, who are these mutants that think they can dictate terms to us? We are the future, an evolutionary inevitability, the Earth's true inheritors. Like, yeah, he's saying we are better than you. You are just lucky that we are not taking everything from you. My God, that's vicious, bro. Right? You closed your eyes last night, believing this world would be yours forever. I'll tell you what happened to trigger this moment, right? That was your dream. And like mine, it was a lie. Woo! Oh man. Here is a new truth. While you slept, the world changed. Bro, hit me in the comments, bro. Let me know how you feel about all that was just said by Professor X, bro. He's basically letting mutants like know that they have a home on Krakoa and there's nothing the human race can do about it. If they step to them, they're basically just gonna go to war. We've never seen Charles like this, bro. So yeah, things are spicy in this run, boys. Things are hella spicy. So if you haven't read this, go read it, right? So basically right here, they're forming a nation. We got everybody here, bro. We got Magneto, Mystique, Jean Grey, Storm, Mr. Sinister, Apocalypse. Everybody's at the table, boys. So like if it's war the world wants, they can have it and then some. But how did we get to this point? Let's talk, right? So it all started with a simple mission. It all started with a simple mission where Sabretooth, Mystique, Toad, and I believe, was there one more person? I can't remember. It was Sabretooth, Mystique, Toad. I think it was just them three, right? They were supposed to infiltrate a building and get some information about this thing. This is a mother mold. This thing creates master molds. The giant master mold that we fight in GBR, this thing creates them, right? This is a mother mold. So this giant thing, the humans were making this thing in space, basically to kill all mutants, right? The humans were making this thing in space to kill all mutants. However, Professor X found out about it and he sent Mystique, Toad, and Sabretooth on a mission to get intel on it so they can go into space and destroy it, right? However, Sabretooth, being the savage that he is, he ended up killing a few of the people. Professor X sent him in on a simple mission: get the data and get out. But Sabretooth is a savage. If you step to him, there will be blood, and lots of it there shall be. So Sabretooth ends up killing a couple of the people. They end up sentencing this guy to basically live forever in the depths of Krakoa because, by the way, Professor X is now God or some kind of shit like that. If people die, he can bring them back to life. Well, not he himself, but he has a way. This shit's crazy, bro. So if that's not like super villain, like crazy next level ish, bro, like you tell me. So basically, they drop him off in the Mojave Desert and left him. You ain't never seen him again, right? Let me just jump over to this page right here. Okay, yeah, this is the page right here, right? So this is what they were supposed to do. Sabretooth just like bodied a couple. Yeah, this is his crime, right? So basically, the laws of Krakoa is you should never kill humans because humans cannot be brought back. Professor X can only bring back mutants, right? The mission was to get in, get the data, get out, right? Sabretooth messed up, he killed a bunch of people, and then they actually ended up going outside. They had to fight with the Fantastic Four, and Sabretooth ended up getting caught, right? Then, with him getting caught, hold on, let me just jump to the next page. With him getting caught in this bubble right here, Cyclops showed up, and Cyc is like, yo, you know how amnesty work. You're a smart guy, Reed. Let's just let Sabretooth go, basically. And then they're like, nah, we just caught him. You know, Cyclops like, you know what, fair enough. Will you leave him? We'll deal with it another day. And basically, Emma Frost ends up having to go get this guy. But like, one sick scene from this comic run is this scene right here with Magneto. Like, Magneto is like, you see, I know how you humans love your symbolism, almost as much as you love your religion. And I wanted you, no, I needed you to understand. So basically what happened was Magneto and Professor X, they invited a bunch of different representatives from the UN to come to Krakoa and basically show them bits and pieces of what was on the island, right? And that at any point they could mobilize an army and get to anywhere in the world, right? Because they have these teleporting portals that can take them anywhere, any size army as well. So Magneto right here says, you have a new god now. This man straight up told these guys that, listen, I know how you love your religion, but just recognize you have new gods now. And that's us. Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. This shit is actually crazy. So this scene right here, Psyche is about getting ready to go destroy that master mold, or sorry, that mother mold, forgive me. And then he's like, yo, I'm a little nervous about this mission. Professor X is like, yo, such a brave face you're wearing for me, but I can hear the fear in your mind. Is it wrong to be afraid that I have doubts? Of course not, Professor X says. You've you've always been that way, but you overcome it. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this comic is so good, bro. Professor X is like, yo, you make me so proud. Let me put your fears to rest, my son. You are not going to die. I won't allow it. Listen, bro. Listen. This man about to go into space with no way back to go destroy a mother mold and a bunch of other sentinels and shit. And Professor X is like, listen, you're not gonna die. I won't allow it. Right? So basically they fly off into space. They don't take any of the gates to come back to Krakoa because they didn't want these scientists on the spaceship, because this thing is being built in space, right? So it's basically being built in secret. I think it was like revolving around Mercury or something, right? But it all goes south, right? Oh yeah, this is when Emma Frost shows up to save freaking Sabretooth, because they were trying to like judge him, right? They have him like in a court here and they're trying to judge him. Obviously he's guilty because he killed those people, and Sabretooth, being a savage, is like, yo, you can't hold me. You can't hold, you think change can hold me, right? Anyways, and then Emma Frost just pulls up, White Queen, you know, boss shit. She's like, listen, I'm gonna take him because, you know, he has amnesty. You don't judge him by men's law. You judge him by mutant law. We judge him. You guys don't get to judge him. And Emma Frost is like, listen, y'all gonna pretend like you can stop me and I'm gonna allow it. And then I'm gonna walk out of here with Sabretooth, and that's just what it gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Oh my God, Emma Frost is a boss bitch, man. I swear to God. Listen, man. Anyways, so Cyclops and them pull up in outer space. They're keeping a psychic link with Professor X and stuff, right? However, one of them crazy scientists blows himself up and kills a couple people, right? Nightcrawler gets injured. You know, Wolverine gets half his arm blown off here. You can see the gore and stuff, right? Nightcrawler gets some internal injuries. Couple people get bodied. Archangel and Husk are dead, right? It's a heavy mission with heavy losses, right? It's crazy, man. And then end up at the end here, Logan actually has to sacrifice himself to destroy this mother mold. So basically, while they're on there, they split up into groups: Nightcrawler, Mystique, Wolverine, and Cyclops. They all head to 4 different locations to shut off a piece of machinery to stop the mother mold from coming online. Everybody gets theirs done except Mystique. So Psyche is checking in with Mystique, right? She goes to shut this thing off. She gets dropped off into space. So that's it. You know, you can't breathe in space, mutant or not. You're just donezo, right? Mystique is gone, and then basically they try to turn this machine on. However, Logan not trying to have it, bro. Logan's like, listen, I gotta ask, bro. You still think there's somebody waiting on the other side? Because if you don't know, Nightcrawler believes in God and stuff, right? He's one of the only mutants that actually believe in God. So like, Nightcrawler's like, yo, when you wake from this eternal slumber, my friend, I'll be there waiting for you. Because like, they have no way of getting out of this, right? But if this mother mold comes online, basically it's just gonna keep spawning master molds. If one master mold is bad enough, just imagine having like endless amount of those things just being mass produced and sent to Krakoa, right? So Logan's like, listen, man, if I gotta die for the cause, I gotta die for the cause. So he jumps out there, he's being burnt alive, right? And obviously Logan is literally the only one that can do it because they're in outer space, right? It's not like freaking Cyclops can can go out here and blast this thing, right? And Jean Grey is in a pod being shipped back to Earth because she's actually the telepathic link that keeps everybody's mind in sync. So even though they split up into groups, they can communicate with each other, right? Because I don't think they use any kind of tech. Anyways, so freaking Wolverine goes beast mode, crushes this thing, basically destroys it, and then they gotta dip. However, at this point, the only people really left alive is Jean Grey, I believe Nightcrawler's dead, and Cyclops here. However, Cyclops get blasted by one of these chicks that's on the, what's her freaking name again? I can't remember her name, right? Yeah, they fry him, bro. They fry him. So Jean is just losing it, and essentially the Sentinels come, Jean gets killed, and the whole team gets wiped out, bro. It's pretty like tragic, right? So right here you can see after the telepathic link between all of them gets severed, you can see this little dialogue here. It says, "They've murdered so many of us. The world has grown used to it. This is just how things are for those people, for mutants." All right? And then Professor X is like, "No more." So this right here is what led up to this conversation, rather this declaration, right? That scene where everybody gets killed off in outer space, that is the reason why Professor X said, "You know what? No more. I'm done playing nice. I'm done being friends with everybody." At this point, it's survival of the fittest, basically, right? Mutants are gonna have their own space. You're not gonna mess with us. You're not gonna judge us. None of that. And something pretty cool happens, right? On this island, they have these mutants right here, these 5 people. One of them is obviously Hope Summers, right? So this guy right here can create these golden balls. So essentially what they do is they create these pods using one of these guys' mutant abilities. Then they inject the DNA of the person they want to revive in it, and put in the elixir of life from this guy's mutant power. And then one person has the ability to accelerate time, and then they use Hope Summers' her power to basically like unify everybody. And then what happens is pretty magical. Professor X basically plays God. So they recreate the bodies of the mutants that just died, and then Professor X can literally put their minds and their souls back in their body. So basically we have Polaris here, right? She's like, "Here's what I don't get, Father. Isn't it just their bodies temporarily evolved to the desired age, perhaps even their optimal or perfected form, but it's not them, is it? It's just a shell." And then Magneto's like, "Watch. All this time, everyone has misunderstood what Cerebro really was." This is something I never even knew until I read this. Yes, with it, Charles could locate any mutant in the world, but that eventually became the secondary function of the machine. The first was copying the mind and the essence, the omnia, right, of any mutant Xavier found, so he could one day put a soul back in its mutant shell. So essentially, every time Professor X finds a mutant, he clones their mind and everything about them into Cerebro. And then if they ever die, using these 5 mutants, he can literally revive them. So as long as Professor X is alive, no mutant can ever die, ever again. This is crazy, bro. So like all the people who just died, he's like, "Yo, there you are, my boy. Even knowing I could bring you back, a part of me dies when any of you do. So let's not do that again, shall we?" Bro, yo. So that's why at the beginning when Cyclops was dipping and Cyclops was afraid that they were gonna die, didn't have a way to come back, Charles was like, "You're not gonna die. I'm not gonna allow it." Bro, this is on some super villain shit. This is on some like Frankenstein, Mr. Sinister-ish, bro. Like, it's crazy. You gotta read this run. This is just a summary. You gotta read this run, bro. So basically everybody who died is back. Cyclops, Wolverine, Angel, like, you know what I'm saying? Jean Grey's over here, Nightcrawler, Mystique, everybody's back, bro. It's crazy. Anyways, man, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. Could we possibly see a villain version of Professor X, or am I reaching, bro? Or is he even a villain at all? For like basically declaring to the world that, listen, we're not gonna stand back and let y'all push us around anymore. We gonna do our own thing. You gonna respect us, and if you don't, well, you can catch the hands and we'll give you that smoke.